Welcome to the wild world of Hollywood drama. What happens when Rachel Zegler, the bold actress behind a groundbreaking Snow White, is suddenly dethroned by conservative star Brett Cooper? Join us as we uncover the juicy details behind this dramatic role switch that's divided fans and sparked fierce debates.
Howie Kurtz. So I've talked about this a couple of times with different people today. I am so anxious to get your take because you will see the media fallout in this. How's Disney doing?
This is absolutely ludicrous, Harris. I mean, I can't tell whether Disney wants to be increasingly woke and just turn off the many fans who want to go to the movies and have a good time, or is too dopey to realize you can't have Snow White without the seven dwarfs.
It's a good question. I can't help you answer that. What I can tell you is if they were really going for diversity, what they've done is they've just helped to divide us even further. I don't understand why we have to fight past classics with today's vision of what they should have been back then.
This is a remake of a 1937 movie. Now, you can't have Sleepy and Happy and Grumpy and all the other dwarfs. They were all white in the original movie. Snow White is called white. And Disney tries to make up for it by casting an Hispanic actress as Snow White. And, you know, the company's had a long political battle with Ron DeSantis. You might think they would want to lie low a little bit and not spark another woke controversy.
Skin as White as Snow was an example that Raymond Arroyo and I talked about earlier as two people of color on the screen. What are you going to change the script to? Because when you read that line, you can't say that about the seven dwarves in total now.
You know, I was thinking about... You can't. I know. I was thinking about it. The biggest moral stain on American history is slavery. Does that mean you can't depict slavery in a movie about that era? Of course not. And yet Disney, by the way, Daily Mail published some photos from the set, which certainly fueled the controversy. And Disney PR came out and said these were fake. Well, they were not fake. They were real. And we have a word for that in journalism. It's called lying.
With Zegler challenging fairy tale norms and Cooper championing the classic story, we'll explore how this rivalry has even led Disney to delay its much-anticipated release. Are we witnessing a new era in storytelling? Or is it just a clash of nostalgia versus modernity? Don't miss out as we dive deep into the chaos surrounding Snow White and see which version might steal your heart. Let's jump into the latest Hollywood buzz that's causing quite a stir. Here's the lowdown. Brett Cooper, the rising conservative star from the Daily Wire, has taken over the role of Snow White from Rachel Zegler. This unexpected shift has ignited a flurry of discussion and, of course, controversy as fans flock to social media to express their opinions.
It's exactly what's going on in Hollywood. Look at the new reboot of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You've seen the set photos that came out. They got rid of the little people and cast taller people. But you don't know the reason why. Apparently, the wildly successful actor, Peter Dinklage, got upset that other little people were getting work, and he thinks the movie's offensive.
Take a step back and look at what you're doing there.
Yeah.
I know. That makes no sense to me.
Well,
you're progressive in one way, but you're still making that backward story of seven dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing, man?
And Disney caved. No more little people. What other movie could shine a better role on little people, let alone cast seven of them as leads? This could have made seven unknown actors household names and given them huge careers. Let's look at Snow White's magical friends. You have a black one, a Latina Snow White, a couple of women, they all shatter. Were seven dwarves not diverse enough for Disney? Think about what's better, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves or Snow White and the Six Unemployed Dwarves? And why is Disney excluding little people in the name of inclusion?
That you're taking jobs away from people. There's not one voice. So just because that actor doesn't want to do that, and he's been fortunate. He's a great actor. Don't get me wrong. You know, he was an elf and he didn't play an elf, but there's little people out there that play elves, that play leprechauns, that do all that. But it's their choice to say yes or no. But the little people that choose to work in this industry should have that choice for a role, not have someone take it away and be the voice that, oh, you know, we shouldn't do that anymore.
Rachel Zegler had a fresh vision for Snow White, aiming to modernize the classic tale by removing the prince entirely. In her version, Snow White wouldn't be waiting for a knight in shining armor to rescue her. It was a bold and progressive move, but it didn't sit well with everyone. Many traditionalists were upset, yearning for the nostalgic version of the story that includes the beloved prince. Imagine expecting the classic fairy tale ending only to find it missing. It's no surprise that some fans are voicing their frustration, echoing the sentiment, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." This creative change has sparked debates about whether it's appropriate to alter timeless stories. But the drama doesn't end with just the storyline. There's also backlash aimed at Disney for how they're transforming the entire essence of Snow White. One major change was casting a Latina actress in the role, which has led to mixed reactions. While some fans celebrate this move as a step toward greater diversity, others feel it strays too far from the original depiction of Snow White, who is traditionally portrayed as white as snow. And if that wasn't enough, Disney has renamed the film from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs to simply Snow White. But why the change? Here's where it gets even more puzzling. The new adaptation will only feature one dwarf character. That's right, just one. Fans are left wondering what the point is of calling it Snow White when so many beloved elements are being changed or omitted. It's akin to ordering a cheeseburger and receiving a salad instead, definitely not what many were expecting. You can almost hear the collective outcry from fans asking, "What is Disney doing to our cherished fairy tales?" This has sparked heated debates, with everyone weighing in on the changes. Some critics argue that Disney is overly focused on being politically correct, which they believe undermines the classic stories we grew up with. Rachel Zegler, however, didn't stop at just removing the prince. She boldly labeled the traditional romantic plot as outdated, even going as far as to refer to the prince as a creepy stalker. This is a significant shift from the usual fairy tale narrative where the prince is the hero, and it's certainly turned heads. It's as if she's rewriting the script for how we view those classic fairy tale themes. But not all fans are on board with this modern reinterpretation. Many are questioning whether these stories, which are supposed to transport us to a world of fantasy and escape, are being altered too much. Enter Brett Cooper, the new Snow White, under the Daily Wire, who has taken a strong stand in favor of the traditional fairy tale love story. She's not letting the modern interpretations slide and has voiced her concerns about the portrayal of the prince. Her perspective resonates with those who believe fairy tales should stay true to their original essence. Imagine finding out that the stories you cherished as a child were being rewritten, suggesting that everything you loved was somehow wrong. That's a tough pill to swallow for many. Just when the tension seemed to reach its peak, the Daily Wire introduced a surprising twist. They are developing their own adaptation of Snow White, with Brett Cooper herself in the lead role. This is quite the plot twist. Their message is clear: if fans want a classic representation, they're ready to deliver just that. This announcement has generated a wave of excitement, with audiences eager to see which Snow White will ultimately reign supreme. Will it be Zegler's innovative, prince-free version or Cooper's traditional take that stays true to the fairy tale's roots? The competition is heating up, as the Daily Wire's rendition promises to adhere more closely to the original story, setting the stage for an intriguing cinematic showdown against Disney's modernized interpretation. Just picture it: two Snow Whites facing off in the movie theaters. It's shaping up to be a captivating narrative in itself. The Daily Wire is cleverly banking on nostalgia, appealing to those who yearn for the fairy tales they grew up with. The rivalry has become so intense that Disney made the unprecedented decision to push back the release of their Snow White film from 2024 to 2025. Yes, you heard that right. It seems they're feeling the pressure and perhaps reconsidering their approach. It's not often that a powerhouse like Disney opts to delay a major project, especially one as iconic as Snow White. Speculation is rife that Disney might be trying to avoid a direct confrontation at the box office, or even reassessing their creative direction in light of this fierce competition. This decision has sent shockwaves through the fan community, with people passionately aligning themselves with one side or the other, almost as if it were a competitive sport. The debate over which Snow White will triumph is far from over, and fans are eager to see how this fairy tale face-off will unfold. On one side of the debate, you have fans who support Disney's bold moves, arguing that it's about time to move away from outdated stereotypes and present a Snow White who doesn't rely on a prince for her happiness. They appreciate the idea of a strong, independent character who forges her own path. On the flip side, many fans are rallying behind the Daily Wire's adaptation, longing for the classic fairy tale magic where the prince rescues Snow White and brings her happily ever after. So, what's it going to be? Are you excited for a modern retelling that redefines fairy tales, or are you more inclined toward the nostalgic charm of the original? This debate is heating up and shows no signs of slowing down. Everyone is eagerly anticipating which Snow White will ultimately win the hearts of audiences everywhere. We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know where you stand in this fairy tale showdown. And if you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on all the latest movie news and discussions, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Woke Informant, and ring the bell to ensure you never miss an update. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video.